Hello guys and welcome to Laravel 7 tutorial. So guys, today we are going to discuss about another relationship in Laravel, and that is polymorphic one-to-one relationship. Basically it is a bit complicated relationship just like its name, but I wanted to let you know that you have this type of functionality in Laravel that if you want to connect one table with more than one table, what you can do is you can use polymorphic relationship. So let's see what this polymorphic relationship is. Okay. Basically, a polymorphic relationship is used to create relationship with more than one tables. Okay, so let's take an example. Let's say we have three models right here: post, user, and photo, and we want to have a relationship of this photo right here with user and post at the same time in the same table. So in that case, we are going to use polymorphic relationship right here. Okay, now the other way around would be, if you don't want to use polymorphic relationship, what you have to do is basically you will have two separate relationship of this photo and post and photos and user right here. Okay, so let's start, and in this case we are not going to implement the post and user models and migration, because we have already implemented that in the previous videos, and in this case we are only going to migrate. Basically we are only going to have create basically this photo model and migration. Okay, so let's start. I have already accessed my project directory and folder, and I will write php artisan make model photo, and I also want its migration right here. Okay, just move to my sublime, and we have our photo model right here and migration right here. So let's complete this migration first. Dollar table, and let's say basically in this column right here we are going to have our image name and extension. Okay, I will just copy it and I will just paste it right below and change it unsigned with integer right here, and this would be imageable underscore type. I will just explain it to you in a bit. First of all, if you are a beginner, you just have to follow me, like use the conventions and name what I'm writing right here. And if you are a bit advanced user and you know how to basically tackle the migration error, you can rename it whatever you like. But if you are a beginner, you just have to follow me. Okay, now in this case right here, in this photo table, uh, this photo table is going to contain some ID and image name and extension right here, and this table right here in this column, we are basically in this column we are going to have the ID from user or post migration, because in this case we are implementing the relationship of photos with user and post right here. Okay, so the IDs right here will be in this column right here. Okay, so now how are we going to differentiate that this specific ID belongs to this specific user or this specific post? For that we are going to use this imageable type column. Basically when we enter or we are going to write or insert the user ID or the post ID, let's say we are going to insert the user ID right here. Okay, now we are going to define right here in this column like this app user. Basically we are going to define the namespace right here, so that we know that this specific ID belongs to this specific model right here. Okay, okay, and it will all make sense just in a bit. Just stick with me. Okay, I will just close it and I'm going to run the migration. PHP artisan migrate. Let's see if we have any error. No, it's perfect. Let's see our migration. I will just refresh. Okay, it is taking a bit time, and right here we have our photos right here. Okay, now to save some time I'm going to insert directly from PHP myadmin, so that we can save some time. Sorry guys, laravel.jpg. let's say our image name and extension is laravel.jpg, and the imageable id, basically this belongs to id1 and in the app user model. Basically now here I'm defining the namespace so that we know that this id belongs to this table or model right here. Okay, now I'm going to create another image and I will say php.png, let's say, and this is going, basically this image is going to refer to post. What I have to do right is basically app post right here. Okay, now let's insert it, and you can see we have two records. Okay, now this laravel.jpg image belongs to user id1, basically id1, and it is referencing to user model right here, and the second image with id1 is referencing to post model right here from user and post. It will all make sense in just a bit. Just follow along with me. Okay guys, now is the time to make the relationship in our model. So I will move to user.php and I will create a simple function, public function, and let's say photo, basically because it is a singular relationship one to one. Return dollar this, basically this is the forward relationship, morph one right here, and the relationship is with app photo, and I have to pass the second argument imageable so that Laravel can map specific user ID to this app photo right here. You have to write imageable to map them. Okay, I will just copy it from right here and I will move to my post.php and I will just paste it right here, and everything remains same right here. You can see morph1 and has a relationship with app photo and imageable so that it can map the specific post with this photo right here. Okay, now I will move to my photo.php. I will just paste it and let's say rename it a bit. I will just rename it like imageable. Okay guys, and let's change it here as well, morph 2, that's it, and we are not going to pass any parameter. Laravel is going to do everything for us. Okay guys. Okay, now that we have our relationship and methods in place, what we are going to do, we are going to make the route to get data. Okay, I will just copy this comment right here, copy and paste it right here, and the relationship name is basically, sorry, polymorphic 1-to-1 relationship. Okay guys, now we will create a route. Now first we are going to get specific user related photo. Now this photo table will contain all the users and all the post photos, basically images or picture, you can say. So in this case I am implementing the forward relationship so that I will basically in this case I'm going to find specific user, and then we are going to get the specific user specific image. Let's make a route get, let's change its name, let's say morph relationship, morph user, m user right here, sorry, m user. Okay, and let's make it dynamic. Okay, function right here, and closure function we will have to pass the id right here so that we can use it in this scope. Let's find user is equals to user find, sorry, $id right here, and let's see what we have, $user. Okay guys, now we are going to hit this route. Let's just run our project php artisan serve right here. Okay, so let's see if our project is up and running. Okay, now let's hit the route m user/1. Okay, so we have our first user. Let's try another user. Let's say 2. Okay, and we have our second user right here. Okay, now let's find this specific user photo. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this method name right here and implement it on this object right here. Okay guys, now let's see what we have for this user. Okay, I'm going to replace it, basically make it 1 because we don't have anything for user 2. Okay, so in this case we are getting data from app photos, you can see, and we have a user image right here. Basically this image right here belongs to user 1 and the model name is app user right here. Okay, so this is the column where we are going to differentiate between the models. Okay, now let's see how can we get the image name so that we can basically show the image. Okay, so let's see, we can get it as an object property. It is really simple, we have already implemented it multiple times. Refresh and we have our image name right here. Okay, now let's create, or basically let's get a specific post related image. I will just copy this route to save some time. Okay, and let's say m post, and let's make it dynamic as well. Rename it with post. Let's find from post right now, post, and let's say post. Now let's remove it a bit. Okay, now let's hit this route m post. What I'm going to do, m post slash 1. Let's see, and in this case we are getting data from post because in this case we are only going to find a specific post. Post find 1 2 etc, and we have data from post model right here. Let's see our post right here, you can see. Now I want this specific post image. What I'm going to do, simply I'm going to apply my custom method from post table right here, and I'm just going to pass to this object right here, and in this case we are going to get data from app photo, see right here, and in this case we have data from app photo basically, and we have our post image. Okay, now how are we going to get the image? It is really simple, just get it as an object property, and I will write image, and we have our image right here. Okay, now let's make its reverse order. Now basically it is one-to-one relationship, so in any case right here we are only going to get only one record. Okay, now let's make the reverse relation. Basically now we are going to find specific photo user or post. Okay, basically in this case we are only going to find a photo from this table, and we are going to see if this photo belongs to user or post etc. Basically it is going to be a reverse or inverse, you can say. Photo, let's first find the photo, let's change it a bit, photo, and right here photo, and just remove it. Let's find photo, find, and we have to pass namespace right here, app photo, so that we can use it with the class name. Okay, right here let's see what we have. Let's hit this route, photo slash 1, photo slash 1. Let's find the first photo, and we have data from the photo table and our first photo right here. Let me show you right here. Let's find the second photo. Okay, and we have our second photo right here. Now let's see this specific post related user or post. Basically in this case we are going to get the source of this for image right here, that whether it belongs to user or post etc. So in this case what I'm going to do, I will just move to my photo.php model. I will just copy the method name right here, imageable, and I will just pass it like an object and its method object right here, and let's see what we have. In this case we are going to get data from the respective model that this photo or image you can say belongs to. And in this case we are basically, in this case we have data from user model because that specific image belongs to users. Right here you can see this belongs to one where basically model name is user right here. Okay, now how are we going to get the name, email, etc., or whatever you like? You just have to basically get it as an object property. Let's say I want the email of this specific user if there is any. Okay, all about Laravel, and we have our first image related user email. Now let's say if I want to find the email related to photo number 2, what are we going to have? Just guess or think for a second, and I will tell you. Just pause the video and think about it. What are we going to have for the photo number 2? Basically we are going to have null because the email does not exist on this post column right here. Let me show you, because in that case basically the second photo right here belongs to post, and post does not have any sort of email column right here. That is why we are going to get the null. Okay, so let's see what we have if we remove this email right here. Now we have our data from the post model, and see we don't have any sort of email named column right here. So here we have post name and description. So what you have to do to get this column is simple. Yeah, like let's say I want to have description of this post, and just refresh and we have post this photo related description. Okay, now let's say I'm going to move to what are you basically in this case we are again going to get null because this description column does not exist on this object right here. Okay guys, I think you understand it right now. Let's refresh and I will just write 1, and we have null because the description column does not exist. So I will just make it dynamic for you, and whatever you like to fetch, you just have to pass the column name to this object right here. Okay guys, let's see the result again. And that's it from this polymorphic one-to-one relationship. And it is a one-to-one relationship, so we are only going to get one result. In the next video we are going to see how are we going to implement polymorphic one-to-many and the inverse order or many-to-many relationship. So I hope you guys like the concept of the video. You liked the video. If you liked it, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you. Take care.